Stoic Wisdom for Inner Strength. There was once a man who lived in a quiet village, content with the simple life he had built. One morning, a storm came, fierce and unrelenting. His house was battered, his possessions scattered, and the path he had known so well disappeared beneath the rising floodwaters. Most would have panicked, but he stood at the center of the chaos, calm. He asked himself, if everything I own is gone, what remains? He realized it was not his house, his fields, or his wealth, but his mind, his reason, and his character. He understood that the world could take away almost anything, but it could never touch the peace he carried within. As the winds howled and the rain poured, he did not curse his fate, nor did he cling to what could not be saved. Instead, he observed, reflected, and chose his response. Each trial became a teacher. The villagers watched him with awe, wondering how he remained so unshaken. He lived simply, accepted life as it was, and faced adversity without fear. When anger or despair arose in him, he recognized them, understood them, and let them pass, like clouds drifting across the sky. Nothing could disturb his mind unless he allowed it. Over time, people realized that life would break us all in some way, but the strength of a person is measured not by what they endure, but by what remains untouched by suffering. His spirit became unshakable, not because life had spared him, but because he had learned to stand firm in its storms. He discovered that true freedom is not found in possessions or comfort, but in mastery over oneself, in the courage to face hardship, the clarity to act with reason, and the wisdom to release what cannot be controlled. Through every trial, he rose stronger, his mind a fortress in the midst of chaos. And in that, he found what many seek but few attain: peace, resilience, and an indomitable spirit that no storm could ever destroy. There was once a young warrior who sought strength, not just in his body, but in his mind and spirit. For years, he measured himself by the approval of others, chasing praise and recognition, believing that admiration was the key to his worth. But no matter how much he gained, he felt empty, as if something essential was missing. One day, a mentor told him, "True strength is found not in the eyes of others, but within yourself." He began to let go of the need for validation. Slowly, he discovered a freedom he had never known. His choices were no longer dictated by fear or desire for approval. In this freedom, he found authenticity, the courage to be himself, to live according to his principles, and to pursue a purpose greater than fleeting praise. At the same time, he stopped chasing wealth and possessions. Instead of longing for material comfort, he discovered a deeper kind of richness, a wealth that could not be taken, a peace that no storm could destroy. Life, as it always does, tested him. Challenges came in waves: loss, disappointment, betrayal, but he held firmly to his purpose. When difficulties arose, he asked himself, will I see this as an opportunity to grow stronger, or as an injustice meant to break me? He learned that perception is everything. The same trial that crushes one person can refine another. The power to choose his response rested entirely within him. He understood that time is fleeting, and to postpone growth, action, or reflection was to waste the only resource he could truly call his own. He stayed present, giving each moment his best, focusing on what he could control and releasing what lay beyond his power. In doing so, he forged a force within himself so formidable that nothing and no one could stand against it. Those who opposed him faltered not because he sought to dominate them, but because his resolve, clarity, and inner discipline were unshakable. Yet his strength was not only a shield against life's storms, it was a key. It unlocked resilience, wisdom, and courage he had never imagined possible. It taught him to face hardship without fear, to act with reason rather than impulse, and to embrace each challenge as a teacher rather than a curse. With every trial, he grew, not just stronger, but wiser, calmer, and more attuned to his purpose. In the end, he realized that life would always bring storms, but true strength is not measured by the absence of difficulty. It is measured by the depth of one's inner fortress, the calm in chaos, the clarity in confusion, and the courage to act with integrity. He had unlocked a boundless force within himself, a power of mind, heart, and spirit that no trial could destroy, a force that guided him steadily through life, teaching him that resilience, purpose, and self-mastery are the greatest wealth any human can possess. Within each of us lies a boundless power, a wellspring of strength that waits to be awakened. It is not found in fleeting fortune or the approval of others, but in the mastery of our own mind, the quiet courage to act rightly, and the wisdom to remain steadfast when the world around us grows chaotic. When reason and courage unite, no summit is unconquerable, no storm too fierce, no challenge too great. Life's obstacles are not meant to defeat us, they are invitations to discover the depth of our own. Resilience. Consider the true heroes of history and myth. Hercules faced 12 grueling labors, each seeming impossible, yet he pressed forward, embracing every task not for glory alone but to refine his character and prove the strength of his spirit. Perseus, armed with little more than courage and ingenuity, embarked on the perilous quest to slay Medusa, confronting terror and uncertainty with a steady heart. Like them, we are called to face the trials set before us, not as punishment, but as the crucible in which our true character is forged. The path is never easy. Fierce winds howl, and towering waves threaten to overturn our course. Misfortune arrives unbidden, burdens we never sought are placed upon our shoulders, and chaos seems to surround us on all sides. Yet the Stoic teaches us not to waste energy cursing the storm. Instead, we adjust our sails, take command of the helm, and navigate with steady hands and a calm mind. Arrogance will only hasten a fall. Humility, patience, and clarity keep us balanced even when fortune turns against us. The humble remain on an even keel, feet planted firmly on the ground, eyes fixed on the horizon. Every hardship, every setback, every moment of fear or doubt carries within it the seed of transformation. How we perceive these challenges determines the state of our minds. Do we see them as injustices meant to break us, or as opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient? The power to choose lies entirely within us. By embracing adversity with reason and courage, we convert struggle into mastery, fear into fortitude, and obstacles into stepping stones toward a higher self. This boundless inner force is not just for survival, it is for transformation. It allows us to rise above the noise of the world, to carry burdens with grace, to act decisively amidst uncertainty, and to face life's tempests with unshakable resolve. Each trial becomes a teacher, each challenge a mirror reflecting the depth of our character. We learn that true strength is measured not by what we avoid or endure, but by the courage, discipline, and wisdom we bring to every moment. In the end, life will test us, and storms will come without warning. Yet those who cultivate this inner power discover a freedom that external forces cannot touch, a force capable of guiding them through chaos, refining their spirit, and revealing their highest potential. By standing firm, embracing humility, and acting with purpose, we unlock the infinite strength within ourselves, a force that will carry us through adversity, elevate our character, and leave an enduring mark upon the world.